Show.
Keep watching the mid-morning show. It's a great day to meet.
Weekend, but we are here on a Monday, and that is why we're here to give you that vibe, to enjoy your week, to ensure that you have a good start for the new week. Welcome on board.
Yes.
This is the mid-morning show.
It is. Monday is the day to wipe the slate clean.
Indeed.
And interestingly for us on mid-morning show, it's a special one.
Today is a different one.
The last Monday in the month of April.
Yeah.
The year is marching on.
Seriously.
And when is the last Monday in the month? You know what we do. We have these conversations around matrimony,
Love,
relationship, love, romance, all of it to make our relationships better.
Yeah.
Yes, so
Today is really going to be interesting.
Yes.
It's a topic we shy away from as individuals, and it's something that even makes a lot of singles, divorcees really, really angry when they get to ask that question.
I love where you were taking it.
You know, it's not just the singles
we're
now.
supposed to split those shy people into two.
Yeah.
There are those who are shy.
Yeah.
There are those who they want nothing but the opportunity to talk about it.
That is
Mummies.
it. The mummies,
Daddies.
then the
sometimes
oversabi
Daddies,
aunties,
yes.
the oversabi cousins, the oversabi relatives, oversabi friends, oversabi I'm a boss.
You know, I'm not a lady.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try to imagine what it feels like when your mom tells you. I mean, I'm far older than you.
Yeah.
And I still get passes. I mean, I've been just this week alone. I've been able. I mean, I've warded off 5 men, and you can't even get one.
You can, or they tell you that, wow, this girl that you are going out with, she's a very good material. Wife material, what are you waiting for? You will not ask her out. You know, this question of,
Even if you have plans.
they will even spoil the plan for you. And it's like, where will you marry? That's the question.
That's why some people don't go.
They don't go home, especially for Christmas, for New Year, or even if they have a gathering. Emma worry. You know, that kind of a thing that before you start asking me, when are you going to get married? Even for a divorced man or woman, they keep asking, so because you're divorced, are you not married? Too many questions. But the question we want to ask ourselves today is delayed marriage. Why do we have it? Is it by choice?
Or what circumstance?
We don't know.
Some people come and say, but they don't want that.
They say this economy, or they say they've not found the love of their life. Or some will say, I have my own ambition. If I don't have my ambition, if I don't have my career, I'm not getting married.
Does ambition stop marriage?
And we don't know. And some people, until the children are in their house, start calling them uncle. That's when they want to get married.
Okay. There's a whole lot to unpack.
That's the topic today. Delayed marriage, choice, or circumstance.
That's what we're looking at. And yes, our guests are already around.
Yeah.
But before we go ahead, okay, let's go see this feature like we always do. There's always a feature.
Yeah.
On
Spark
in marriage.
What's the
Right.
spark?
Now, you may kiss the bride. And a lifelong bond is sealed. One that is hoped to bring a lot of happiness, commitment, fulfillment, and love. To find love is beautiful, but to nurture it to the point where two people decide to take the bold step of saying, I do, and committing to spending their lives together forever is truly a blessing. Falling in love is easy, but staying in love is where the challenge may be. When people fall in love, most times the feeling is enchanting, almost magical. But with time, the feeling may begin to fade or lose its heat. This does happen in marriages as well. After the initial excitement of the wedding day, the honeymoon, and moving in together, life most times afterwards becomes a routine with dating or courtship, except when the individuals involved are cohabiting. The fact that they do not live together and see each other all the time may still retain and reawaken the excitement each time they meet. That doesn't mean that feelings don't change sometimes, especially when they are too distant from each other. The saying, distance makes the heart fonder, may work for some, but then it may also be a reason some hearts derail. In marriage, however, most times the couple lives together, sleeps together, and spend more time together. Beautiful, right? But this may also mean seeing too much of each other, having no other lives but each other, and falling into a life of routine and sometimes boredom. Yes, boredom. Most individuals, once married, stop paying attention to details, doing things out of the box for the other, making each other feel special, and become too predictable or too busy trying to make ends meet. After all, aren't they now married? So, why the special effect or the fuss over someone you see every day? Ideally, marriage should be enjoyed and not endured. And for this to happen, efforts should be made by the individuals involved to retain and sustain the spark in the marriage. You may be wondering, what's the spark? It is that initial rush of excitement, the butterflies in your belly, that leap in your soul, the acceleration of your heartbeat, the sheer joy you can't explain, that lightness in your feet, the lightheadedness and complete bliss that you experience each time you see that special someone. It is that special bond that you share with that special one, and it is that special feeling essential for keeping every marriage exciting and blissful. The spark keeps the marriage fresh, exciting, and leaves the couple falling in love with each other over and over again. Irrespective of their age, they feel ageless. Without the spark, however, a marriage becomes just a routine, an arrangement of convenience, or may outrightly head for the rocks. So, here are some tips to keep the spark in your marriage ever fresh. Communicate your feelings, as bottling up emotions affect the marriage. Couples who want healthy relationships should always be careful of their emotions and keep the channel of communication open. Take vacation together. Taking time out for couples is an avenue to express themselves and communicate better. Vacation is an opportunity to spend time alone and revive any lost affection or feelings. Don't go to bed angry. Settle every dispute instead of sweeping it under the rug. Going to bed angry will first of all affect the adequate sleep needed. So, anger will not only affect the marriage, but the individuals involved. The issue that leads to anger may be mild, but if care is not taken, it can fester. So, it is better to settle disputes early without taking it to another day. Couples who play together last forever. Scientists discover that relationships are more likely to last if couples play and have fun together. Also, a researcher claimed that couples need to affirm their relationship through laughter. And just like the saying, laughter is the best medicine. It is also the best spice for a happy and healthy marriage when shared between couples. Exercise caution when there's a misunderstanding, so you don't say something you later regret. Always tend to consider a word before uttering it to your spouse, especially in a heated argument. Your partner can forgive, but may find it difficult to forget. Try out new exciting things as a couple. People literally get bored from getting and doing the same thing over and over again. Learn how to do something new together, such as new games, watch new movies, singing together while driving, planning business trips together, dancing together, and all other exciting things. You can also plan a date as often as you can. Most couples wait till weekends or public holidays before venturing on a date with their spouse. Some don't even see the need for it again once they are married. The beauty in a date is that it can revive your love. What's more, it can actually be planned in the four corners of the house. Now, constantly remind yourselves how much you mean to each other. It's a great feeling when you tell your spouse how much you love and care about him or her. Appreciating her beauty makes her feel special, and that goes a long way to maintain the spark in a relationship and vice versa. Make each other feel special by using complimentary statements such as, "Your beauty captures my heart. I want you to know I love you. I love you. You are my soulmate. You attract me a lot, my darling. You are the most beautiful being I've ever seen. God wonderfully and specially made you just for me. I can't stop bragging about you to my friends and show the whole world how beautiful you are. You made
spark in marriage. Beautiful feature there. Welcome back. It's still the mid-morning show right here on BCOS television. And like I told you before we went on that break, today we're discussing
Delayed
marriage,
choice or circumstance.
Yes, a whole lot of young people who are single complain about going home only to be grilled by mommy or daddy.
Or wasabi aunties and uncles and cousins.
When are you bringing her home? Where is the man? And all that. And sometimes it can be so tiring, and some people just skip family reunions and gatherings altogether.
No, there's even a new one, blocking of people seeing their status. Because when they take a picture with someone, they're like, "Oh, is she the one? Is he the one?" I'm like, so they are like, "Oh, so because you have access to my page, right?" So they block. That's the new one. They block all social media platforms. They block family and friends.
But it's quite understandable when you think about it. You know, things that when society has expectations of you and you feel you're not meeting them, people reminding you of that as a way of emotional, sort of emotional trauma. You know, and people will just run away from that instead of feeling it. Yeah. I don't want to feel it, so I just stay away. So that's oftentimes the issue. But then, well, this is a very important one. So today we're focusing on it to unpack everything and see what we can make out of it, what advice is available, and what exactly do we need to do? How do we handle these situations? Because whether we like them or not, they are realities.
It's the reality of
life. To come to think about it, these days we're being told that people are marrying a lot, later than
now,
Now, the early age for marriage right now is the early 30s. So, which was not the case before now. So, it's a reality we are facing. So, let's see what this is and how we can navigate it. And this morning, to help us with the conversation, are two very important people dear to our hearts. Mrs. Margaret Kumakpai, who is a married counselor, and of course, Mr. Lawrence Olajide, who is a certified counselor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to be here again.
It's our pleasure to have you.
So we're talking delayed marriage, choice, or circumstance. Our first, who even created a clock to say that there is early marriage or delayed marriage? I'll start with you, ma'am.
When we say delayed marriage, it's our own designation. There is time for everything. The truth of the matter is that when you fail to do the right thing at the right time, it becomes wrong. So we may say that who actually created it. The truth is that you have the nature of human beings. There is an age when a woman can give birth to children. There is what we call a flowery age for a woman. And gradually, that fades off. So at the right time that a woman needs to get married, when she fails, the society will begin to wonder what is going wrong.
Okay.
The family will begin to wonder. And if nothing is done on time, she will be emotionally traumatized. You know, she might be psychologically traumatized because people will just be questioning her. What is happening? Where is the man? Or where is the woman? What is delaying you? What is the problem you have? And then you have suggestive questions,
the questions that make you think.
Exactly. So they run away from people that can trouble them. We have people that we just decide, Mommy, if you know this is what you're going to ask me again, I will stay off. That is when it is just starting. At the time, they just cut off with the people. And it leads to loneliness. It leads to emotional trauma. They cut off on some friends. Look at friends that they have been playing together. Most of them now married. They have gone for wedding. Children, they have gone for naming. And now nothing. Definitely, it affects them psychologically.
To you, sir, your point of view.
Thank you very much. That's to also build on what Mommy has said. We have norms and values in the society. Yeah. Society actually have history, which varies from one culture to another. But globally, marriage is a culture that leads to procreation and multiplication, hope for the next generation. So every society value marriage. But when it comes to delay in marriage now, a lot of things come into play, into place. Now you are looking at choice or circumstance. Both choice and circumstance, they are interdependent, they are interrelated, they are connected. You cannot separate choice from the circumstance. And at the same time, you cannot separate circumstance from the choices. At times, our choices are based on the circumstances we find ourselves. There are certain things that happens to human beings that you cannot help. And there are certain things that happens that you have control over. For instance, a choice is internal. It has to do with person. The circumstance is environmental. And both environment and issues that happen within actually determine what comes the aftermath of any matter, including marriage. Yeah. So in that case, because of a lot of things, if you also look at these delays and things, that there are issues of gender, there are issues of economics, there are issues of expectations. For instance, when somebody is about to marry, there are certain things that he ought to have. The society expects. That is circumstantial. The society expects something to be in place. It could be some facilities. It could be some resources and things like that. It could be a means of livelihood, and all those things are there. So, and to make now, if you go back to generations behind, you will discover that this issue of delay in timeline is actually traceable to Gen Y or millennia. From 1981
not disease
to 1981 around to 1990s. That is where issue of internet, digital awareness comes into it. And because of that, a lot of things are actually playing out. People have some things that they value above interpersonal relationship. True. And people want to, I remember at that time, people will go to the cooperative and take loan, buy phones of 350,000
back then.
Instead of planning for marriage. And things, if you have somebody that you are dating, they expect you to have something that they can relate with. What is the nature of your phone and things like that. Yeah. So people are under pressure to actually satisfy society expectation. And so they put the timeline of marriage and other important things, they put it on hold. Yeah. Those things are actually very, very vital. And then from there, you will discover that as the issue of digital age is moving on and on, we are now in the era of AI. We are now moving to generation, the other generation that is coming up now, which is better. We have a lot of things to say as far as marriage is concerned. Because many things are involved. Marriage is more emotional than inorganic.
Maybe we should look at another angle. Okay. Years back, I'm talking of decades back, by the time a man finishes his first degree, he's sure of a good job. A good job that will maintain him, that will maintain his spouse, and take care of other things. life will be apparently comfortable for such a man. And you can now imagine a woman finishing first degree. Come on. She's in a good level. But can we say the same thing now? No. Where you will finish first degree, no job. You go for masters, no job. You go for doctorate, and yet you are still looking for job. And you find some of them still depending on their parents. How will such a person think of marriage? Even if uncle and aunties, if they encourage and you say, well, we will support you, settle down and so on, how do they maintain? So they think of getting an economic base that will sustain them. That can bring a serious delay. That is the effect of the national issue on
That's
them.
the economy.
Okay, so let me try to put these two together. Now, do we say that choice is the problem here, or are people getting married late now because of the economic situation of the country? Because sometimes you also come across young people who you could say are, well, doing okay. They are able, by what they earn, to take care of themselves and a partner. But they still tell you, look, I want money. It seems that the kind of level of wealth or financial stability they're talking about, it's not the average, it's not the one that basically you could say is enough to get by. It's the one you can call, what's the term they use now? Ulowo pare.
Do you know that, well, years back, when one is thinking of getting married, you do not concentrate on a man that is made, that is ready. You want to see how you can build up together. That's the way you view life. We are starting life, we are building together, we are ready to grow together. But these days, they will have prepared the list of who the man should be, what he should have, possibly things that he will give them. You find some shameless lady, going to the extent of making heavy demand on the man just because they are dating, just because they are courting. That's, that should not be. I expect that a decent lady should prepare herself to be an asset to her husband. That the man will be able to look up to her and say, Lord, I thank you for blessing me. I'm not talking of only economical, not only economically, but a woman should fashion herself in a way that she will be an asset to her husband, not just to go and receive somebody that will give me this, that will give my family this or that. That is the mentality of many young ones.
Okay. Sorry, before we move on, I didn't time. I mean, when you were talking about the whole situation when we first opened, and you mentioned early times, millennials, and when we just talked about the fact that people back then, they had this sort of you could say moderate taste.
Yes.
Okay.
Contentment.
What I find very, very surprising is this, that even millennials, when their daughters who are Gen Zs are getting married right now, even this, basically more when there's their daughters involved, they are the ones who would even say, my fair, someone would say popper. And sometimes if the guy is a popper, it doesn't just meet the so-called standard of,
the family.
So you would have thought they would know better. But even they are part of those who put the pressure. So it's not even a problem of Gen Zs. So at what point did we get there? And what is the place of individual agency? There is the imperative from the society for you to marry. There is biological clock, especially on the side of the ladies and all that. But then, where does what I want, my, should I say, my agency to determine my own life, where does it come in?
Thank you very much. You see, we are still going to look at it from personal point of view, because there is what we call individual differences and it also affects the choice in marriage. But if you look at the scenario that is playing out now from that millennia to this and as going forward, you will discover that people are now having a mind of being individualistic.
Is that a bad thing?
It's not bad, but in marriage, there's interdependence. In the faith of Christianity, it says two shall become one. That is, there is supposed to be a synergy. While you are able to express yourself as an individual, the other person express himself as an individual, there's a place of union, where you have union of purpose, you have union of visions, missions, and things like that. So as it is right now, the expectation from the society is putting pressure on people to ensure that they make choices that aligns with expectation of the society. And it is so high to the extent that, just like Mommy said, the economic pressure is there. And the economic pressure is not only from within the people that want to marry, but from outside. And this is what is playing out right now. People are trying to carve what we call a niche for themselves. A niche of what is expected. For my own generation, if my children want to marry, this is where I want them to be. But in the past, parents will want to support the people that want to go into marriage. But as it is now, it is the reverse. They want people who are just newly getting married to even start to support the family. These are the things that is playing out. And it has a serious societal concern. We have to begin to reorientate the society back to the point that we have to be conscious of our conscience. Because it is as if now people are now losing their conscience as far as relationship, marital relationship, other forms of relationship is concerned. And that is affecting this present generation and may likely have effect on the future, especially with the advent of artificial intelligence.
There's another unique... Okay, now you want to say...
A little addition to that.
Yes.
Allow me to put in these very fundamental aspects when it comes to the issue of marriage. I want us to know that marriage is God's institution. And except right from the beginning, we allow his input. We know what it means to give him chance to guide us. We will miss it all together. The problem we are having now is that there is too much of internet influence, societal influence on individuals. Individuals that know their God. They will be strong, they will do exploits, even in the choice of marriage partners. And when you do that, and you are guided of God, and you are very sure this thing is the leading of God, that God will sustain you. So you don't look at society, you have your mind. And this is your home, your life. Biblical marriage is till death do you part. It is not if it works. That is the mind with which many of them, if it works. Even some, I continue, if it doesn't work, I step back. Even some parents will say, well, let's see what he will do. If he doesn't treat my daughter well, I'll take her back. That is not marriage. Marriage, you prepare your heart for a lifelong journey, both as a man, as a woman. You don't go into it carelessly. You don't go into it unadvisedly. You don't go into it without the conk assurance that I am where God is leading me. That is why we have all these crises. If it is of God, I tell you, he will prepare the two of them. The economy will bow to God. He will supply their needs. He will. I believe that.
And moral values.
The moral. Look at what is happening these days. They will say they are dating. They will start dating 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and they will have eaten the unripe apple. What are they looking for in marriage again? Then after 4 years, they break up. One is frustrated, the other is dejected. They start looking again, and they fall into the same thing. And by the time that is repeated, time goes. Time does not wait for anyone. In the society today, normal age for a lady to marry. Start from 23.
I think we have to go on this break.
We'll go on
but when we come back, I would like to know why there's a different reaction when a 35-year-old man is not married and when a 35-year-old woman.
And I also noticed that
different reaction, definitely.
There is always a different reaction.
To what Bobby was saying.
Yes.
Let's take this break first.
Yes.
After this break, this conversation continues. Please don't go anywhere. It's a bit more in show.
Yes.
Good to know you're still there. It's the mid-morning show right here on BCOS television, and we are discussing delayed marriage, choice or circumstance. That was a beautiful quote we had there. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced.
So you need to face the marriage.
You can
stop delaying.
To avoid it, but it's not going to go.
No, it's not going to go. It's something you are going to face at the end of the day. So why the delay? But you know, sir, when we're on that break, we're talking about the 4 dimensions that we need to look into before you even say, okay, you want to get married.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at that one.
Look at it. Right. You know, people talk about, and I developed a system that I call the 4 dimensions of healthy relationship. Okay. There are 4 dimensions, including marital relationship, because it is relationship, interaction. You know, you have to look at spiritual dimension. That is the first dimension. But spiritual is not religious. It has to do with value.
Okay.
It has to do with value. Your value can be taken from religious values, but it can be from society. But it's values. What you value is your spiritual connection, and it is very, very vital in marriage. If you want to go to a married connection with somebody that don't have value what you value, the marriage is not going to last, because value is very, very vital. And the second dimension is what I call self-dimension. Self, the first is supernatural dimension. The second dimension is self-dimension. What is the connection within yourself? It has to do with Are you convinced within? Are you convinced within that this is what I'm ready for? Are you convinced with that? Is intrapersonal. It is self-dimension. It has to do with balancing your emotional, your mental, your preparedness within. That is self-dimension. To everybody that wants to go into marriage that will last must first be convinced within.
That they are ready.
That they are ready for the marriage. And the third dimension is what everybody talk about relationship. When you are talking about relationship, you talk about interpersonal relationship. That is what I call somebody dimension. Because the somebody you want to work with in your relationship as a partner, you must have something that connects with that person. And you must know how to manage that kind of environment, because you have different backgrounds. Your backgrounds may be different. It could even be difference in religious background. I have couples, and I used to make them as example. The husband is an allergy. The wife is a pastor. But both of them are going very fine. They are family friends to us. And I counsel people who are not based on religion. I counsel both people from Muslim, Christian, and any other person. But there is interpersonal or intrapersonal religious connection has nothing to do with, well, most of the time, the faith, but has to do with the value. Okay? If you have common value and shared value, you can actually cohabit. And that is where the aspect of the third dimension is very, very vital. Somebody dimension. The last dimension is what I call something dimension. That is where I call it extra-personal relationship. Relationship with things that are inanimate. They are part of the environment that we are talking about, circumstances that shape marriage. First dimension, supernatural dimension, has to do with your value. Self-dimension, somebody, and something dimension, something else. You know, it could be societal pressure, it could be an economic pressure, anything else. It could be this phone, common phone. You know, common phone is actually an issue in relationship right now. In many homes now. So how do you relate with something that is not animate, but is affecting your relationship? That is extra personal relationship, extra personal dimension. So those 4 dimensions, you have to understand it, you have to have knowledge about it, you have to be convinced about them before you can have a successful marriage, either at the proposal stage, at the actual stage, and post-marriage. These things are very, very vital.
But we've seen many people during growing up, or they've seen all kinds of marriages, broken homes, divorces everywhere and there. And you ask this young lady who is in the right path of ambition, and you are telling her that it's time for you to get married. And she's like, do I need to get married in the first instance? I've been on my own, I've been successful, I don't need any partner. What will you say to such a person? Because already there are too many examples of broken homes around the person, too many examples of divorced people who are surviving. So she might say, do I really need to get pregnant? Or even the man will say, I'd rather have a baby mama and be fine.
Many people are in that condition that we know very well. They feel that there is nothing to write home about the family lives of people that are close to them. So why do I need to worry myself? One will even say, if I need a child, I go to a man, get the child, and I know I'm a mother, you know. That is why we have single mothers, single parents these days. But is that the design of the originator of marriage? That is where the question comes in. I want to say that for this present generation, when you want to go into marriage, before you start any relationship, he has given us the 4 dimensions. Be persuaded that you are doing the right thing. You know, there is something that we call red flags. If you are in a relationship and you are seeing red flags,
here and there,
the Yoruba people will say, "Ojú tó bá máa bá ní kalẹ̀, kò kí n ṣàárọ̀ tó pin, or what, ṣe or whatever, you know." In other words, when you start seeing red flags in courtship, in relationship, it is a signal to you to step back. We have many people sorrowing today because they saw the red flags and they felt, what will my mother say? What will so? What of my friends? All your friends, even your parents will not live in the same home with you. Your marriage is your life that can either make you or mar you. Therefore, make sure you are 100% persuaded before you go into it. For such people that have set their minds, the much we can do is to counsel them.
Wow.
That is it. We can only advise them. Nobody can force anything down the throat of anyone. If they have made up their mind that they are not going to get married, you can't force it on them.
You know, we have them there. And they say, I want to be myself. I want to be, please don't bring that to me.
We need to let them know it is not right, because the children they bring forth under such situations will ask for either their mother or their father in future. And it brings emotional, psychological trauma on such a child. It can even bring a type of inferiority complex on the child amongst his colleagues, you know. So it is what we need to plead with the youth of these days to run away from. You cannot God has not designed procreation for single mothers, for single parents, you know. It is
effort of both.
Yes, it is the two of them. And once you start a relationship and you realize that the future is bleak, step back.
Step back.
Okay. Now I'm going to go back to the 4 dimensions Dr. Olajide Taiwo was talking about. You mentioned the second one, the self,
self-dimension.
Now, I keep wondering, you go home, if you're a single person and you have your family members always saying, okay, when is the woman coming home and all that, they're doing this because they care about you.
Yeah.
Right? Now, we say that people should be persuaded. You would agree with me, there are certain people that if you're going to wait for them to be persuaded and, or should I say, make up their own mind, maybe they may never do that. So I don't know if it's a personality based, maybe they are phlegmatic or whatever the case, but some people need a push. So where do you draw the line? Because sometimes you hear this statement going around. People say, marriage is not for everybody. It's easy for such people to just fall into that and say, okay, well, marriage is not for everybody. So we'll address that. Is marriage for everybody? And if it's not, how do we handle people like that?
Well, thank you very much again. Well, I can say marriage is not for everybody. Some people choose not to marry.
Yeah.
In the past, in the present, and it's going to continue in the future. Some people are eunuchs. They just say, I don't want to marry. So, and that's okay. But if you want to go into marriage, first and foremost, we must disabuse the mind of this generation that marriage is not a scam.
Oh.
Because they say marriage is a scam. Because of all those circumstances, things that they are saying. Even the issue of I don't want to have any relationship with any man or any woman. I can, go to a laboratory, take semen, put them together, IVF and things like that. Get somebody, nurture the baby, I can carry. You are forgetting that it is things about relationship is more than inorganic things. It is more than physical. It has a lot of interaction. Now, a married relationship, for us to come out of that, we have to have a society orientation about how to build healthy relationship, how to build marital relationship. And it's a process. Just like a building, every building has foundation. And the foundation must be well laid. If you want to go into marriage, the person that is not making up his mind all the time, there's a way you have to can break that mindset through effective communication. Because communication is the first foundation of building any relationship, including marital relationship. If a man and a woman want to come together, whatever it is, they have to at least communicate it. That's the first thing. But in the process of communicating, this time around they communicate with machine. Communication with machine has no emotion attached. Has no value. Whatever is in your mind, you put it on machine, give you bump to whatever. I don't know how they do it, but you come up with a solution.
Emojis.
Whatever it is, that is not going to be a marriage that is going to be sustainable in form of healthy marital relationship. Because a lot of things are there. In the foundation of building a relationship, there's what we call communication, effective. There is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence has to do with how you deal with the other person. Within yourself, you have to know how to, it's a balance before you go to social intelligence. And of course, if relationship is going to last, there will be conflict. There must always be conflict. If two people come together, there will always be disagreements. You must have at the foundation of any relationship what we call conflict management strategy. So you cannot separate marital relationship from all those foundations. But people start marriage from love. Say it is love. It is not love. It is not love. It's the first pillar of marriage. The foundation of marriage is what I've just mentioned to you. Because those things are what makes love to develop. But love is a very strong pillar.
Yes.
Love is a very, very strong pillar. But it's built on a foundation. Just like a house, this house is built on a foundation. Love has foundation that it must build on. Of course, integrity is also there. Trust is there. Then the ability to work together, where what they call team spirit is there. And those things work together, that is where somebody who does not want to make up his mind, but who has information about all this, can begin to see the reason why there's need for somebody else.
Sorry to butt in this way,
yes.
but For most people, when you talk about finding a partner or going out, usually the first thing is the attraction.
Yes.
So you just said communication, integrity, all this.
No. Communication, in communication, emotional intelligence, social intelligence, and conflict management, they are the foundation.
Oh.
So
they are the foundation.
I'm not sure people realize that at the point where they first meet. Because it's more like, okay, a young man sees a young lady, she looks beautiful to him, or maybe probably she did something, maybe sang in the choir, or she performed excellently well academically, or they had a conversation and he discovered how, smart she is. One thing attracts you to the other person. So usually, I'm sure for most young people, they'll tell you
definitely there must be a point of attraction,
At some point.
because you have other people around. What pinpoints that person to you?
Exactly.
It's an attraction. So you must have a point of attraction to that person. Even if we are not calling it an attraction, it will be a point of connection. It will be created in a way that you will realize that there is something between us. And it is when you start relating, communicating, that you start discovering the level of integrity, the level of trust, the level of dependability, all this that will make the relationship to work.
So we can say that attraction comes in, but if you're going to have a marriage that is grounded, it has to be based on these things.
Yes.
Dr.
Yes.
But we have some women and men out there. They're in relationships.
They are.
Relationships.
Okay. Ships.
Okay.
They have ladies they are dating.
Good.
They have men they are dating. Yet they still delay in marriage. Some say, okay, maybe it's choice overload. They have too many choices. They don't know how to pick. Can we say that's another kind of issue that can actually cause delay marriage?
It is a very bad, terrible issue that can bring delayed marriage. What I understand as marriage is not this aspect of testing different,
Trying to pick the right one.
It's unacceptable. It is not even morally right. Do you get it? You can have peer groups, you can have different type of friendship, people in your circle, but that you are dating somebody and giving the impression that we are together to another person. You are making a mockery of the marital relationship, and you will pay for it. It can cause your delay, and not only delay, it will give you heartache in future. Because, you must have hurt some people.
That's when breakfast comes in.
And anything you sow,
Yeah, that's what they call it right
whatever
now.
you sow, you will reap. When you go through such situation, dating here and there, they start having sex.
No, they even tell that they're protecting their mind. That
That
okay,
is
if
it.
this one messes up,
have a fault.
so we
can
have
you
them.
imagine?
It's in there. To doctor.
It's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you hear. I've not heard someone say that I didn't meet the counselor. This individual was the one who said it. Said that the counselor said that there's nothing wrong in having more than one person.
Choices.
I mean, you can you're not. The counselor did not advocate for sexual relationships. Basically saying that have as many friends as possible.
So many ungodly
You can have friends, you are a female, you have a lot of males who are friends, but while you're friends, you're studying them. So then maybe...
That's the end thing.
go
That's
out
what
with
they
them.
do now.
That is a false.
Okay.
That is fallacious. That is, you see, sir, let's put it in perspective. There's attraction that we started. In marriage, you can only be attracted to somebody, just one person.
At a time.
At a time.
So those who say
if you're attracted to more than one person at a time, you have issues. Maybe choice overload, that she has said. Okay. And that is the beginning of confusion. And if you want to go into marriage, you must be clear, because it has to do with clarity. If I'm not clear about the person that I want to spend the remaining part of my life with, if I say probably, 50%, 70, there may be, there's a problem. Because it is not about this time, it's about everlasting. So to say, you may even discover that marriage surpasses you. Because,
definitely,
it's beyond you. Because when you begin to bring children,
that's another one.
you have already raised another generation that will take root from whatever they learn from you. So these are things that we have to rebuild the mind of the society. And the values of the society is breaking down because the marital institution is being compromised. People are not taking marriage vows, commitments serious. Look, our forefathers, before Christianity and before Islam, they marry and they stay in their marriage because of the value of the society.
Now, we have this. When you talked about commitment, now there's a very big issue in our society, and that is japa. We have so many of our singles, male, female over there who refuse to marry, and they'll tell you that it's not the in thing here. We don't have time for that, you know. And parents back here, and they're telling you that you're getting old, though. And they will even tell you that some even have a relationship here before, and maybe by the time they get there,
they start another.
No, they might not even start, but there will be delay. Sure. Marry. Both partners are not yet married. Maybe, okay, no, we want to go and meet him. I want to go and meet her. So all these kind of societal delays, at what point can we now say it's not even the individuals now? It's the society, or it's the perception of japa itself that is causing delayed marriage? Please,
let me bring in a dimension before we come to this on the aspect of people dating several,
individuals.
You said suitors.
Every choice in life has its accompanying consequences. That is why we have many people, many homes, many marriages today that are very unstable, traumatic, and, because you see the man having the wife at home and there is a soulmate outside. Because he has dated many people, maybe the parents pressured him
to do that,
to marry somebody. The soulmate is still outside, and he will start to relate with that one, tormenting the one at home. This is a serious cause of crisis at home these days. For the japa syndrome that you have brought in, it is their value for marriage. That is still the problem. It is still the problem. It is their understanding, their personal value for this marital estate. If you travel, there is something you are seeking for. You have placed priority on that one above marriage. If you know that marriage is important to you, you want to have a family, you want to start, you are talking of 30, 35. Yes. That is the age a woman should finish childbearing. A person that marries between 23, 25, 27, by 35, he should have finished childbearing.
No, some people, they have not even
some people are not even thinking of marriage even at 35. You understand? So with such people, there is, except we start from the scratch to rebuild their understanding. So there is a need for educating them to set their priorities right. There is time for everything. And the time for marriage, when it goes, it may never come again.
I remember when I first heard from a doctor friend that a 35-year-old woman getting pregnant, her pregnancy is classified geriatric.
Whoa.
Can you
35.
Okay, so let's
okay.
Move right back.
Geriatric pregnancy.
Oh my.
Yes, let's do the break.
Yeah, we take a break.
We're back.
We're back.
It's still the Mid Morning Show right here, and we're discussing delayed marriage,
choice or circumstance.
Let's have that quote back on the screen. It says, "You don't have to explain your timeline to anyone. Your life is yours." So that's
Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Giving us that.
Your life is yours.
Your life is yours.
For people, I think at this point in time, people have a different perspective to what their life should be, at the detriment of themselves. Because if you know that, okay, for you to get married, you know the right thing, or yet you are still doing that which is not right and consoling yourself. Now, we've seen the gatherings of singles. They come together, encourage themselves in their own mind that don't worry, we're doing fine. Then when someone now puts up, oh, my marriage and everything, they're like, please, we don't want all this drama. Then I'm like, when will the drama now come? When are you not going to face the drama? Like you said before, they cannot run away from it. So how can we make singles, divorcees, value their life and say, being in this delayed marriage might not be the way out?
I still come back. The word of God says, righteousness exalts a nation. I bring it down to the home. Righteousness exalts a home. And righteousness exalts individuals. Sincerely, until we send people back to value righteousness, living right, doing that which is proper, not being careless about their own life, not just living for the satisfaction or to satisfy other people, knowing that you have a life. Like that caption, your life is yours. Make the best of it. You cannot have it twice. You have it only once. Therefore, make up your mind. You are going to make the best of it. If you make up your mind you want to get married, there is a time to do that. You cannot get married as 40 as a woman, and you think that is a good time. Although God has mercy on some people. I've seen a woman of 48 getting married, and you hear of people at 60 having children. Their own exception to the rule.
Yes,
mercy of God. We may not, but it is not the norm.
But to doctor, you see a 25-year-old or a 25-year-old man or woman, they are already under pressure. Like Majek Tashegu Sanders under pressure. Now they're already under the pressure. So what will you now tell them and advise them?
Under pressure to get married.
Get married, and they are not, and they are already delayed to them.
Whoever is giving them pressure needs education.
The pressure.
And yes, and that person that is giving them pressure must be close to them. So they should be sincere to one another.
So the society and parents.
Exactly. They should sit down and discuss and let them know that I have a vision for my life.
So, doctor, what's your word to parents and the society?
Going from that quotation, you don't have to explain your timeline to anybody.
True.
Because you have the right to make your choices.
Your life is yours.
Now, are they aware of the choice they want to make? Are they matured at that age to go? Before you can make up your mind about choices, you must know every choice you make have cause and effect. There's an implication for what to do. Now, if I'm being under pressure, somebody of 25 years of age under pressure to go into marriage, it may lead to the pressure, but there's a consequence. The people that push you to pressure, are they going to be responsible for the bills?
But we get mature at different
ages.
Some people are 20 and
Let me come to. So maturity is an internal thing. Although you now see its effect outside. Oh, it's now mature. It's not a baby's. It's not a mother's boy. And he can stand on his own. He can make some decisions. Because at that time that the person is under pressure, if you yield to pressure without you getting ready, definitely you are not making a choice that is in line with what you value. And that is dangerous. And that is where I'm going to give a case. I'm not going to mention name. A boy just got mature. The father, the only son of the parent, and the parents are well-to-do. They can pay the bills. So they went to look for a
lady
for him.
For him?
And the wedding was very, very flamboyant. Everything went well. The story has changed. The boy has moved out of the house.
Whoa.
And the parents are begging the woman to please wait for how
She
long.
will come back.
Can she wait?
Because the boy, the people thought that this boy is our only person. There's a reason why people that are putting pressure, there's a reason why they are putting the pressure. Maybe for personal reasons. Maybe for self, not considering the people that are pressurizing. So the boy just said, this is what you want. Okay. I'm okay. After the marriage, things come, there are responsibility attached to marriage. The boy refused to perform. So, and he is performing with somebody else outside.
Do you know that some parents that put pressure on their children, the only thing that they have on mind is, I want to become a grandparent. I want to see my grandchildren. And they start putting pressure on their children to marry. That's not the right thing. It's not, it's not appropriate.
I guess if you have prepared them for that particular time, you need to put the pressure.
So they even want to come into it because they are prepared for it.
Wow.
Yes.
So age is important, but age is not it's not absolutely of relevance. It's very important, but it's not absolutely of relevance. While we are not pushing for delayed marriage, push it towards them because of medical reasons. And look, there's an advantage in early marriage. I married at the age of 31. My wife was 29. We were both matured. But I would have wished I married earlier. Yeah. Because now, I would have wished that I married earlier because, I'm now 60 something. So if I had married earlier, and my children have come earlier, they would have become.
Can you see?
And some of my colleagues or my friends who are of the same age, it's okay. They come and see my grandchild. Come and I say, we thank God. I am happy for them, but I wished that I had a marriage. But you see, people will see the consequence in the future.
At the end of the day.
At the end of the day, the choice that we make now has implication for the future. So, a person that is married at the age of 25, consider it for the present time
and for the future. Wow.
So I think the whole thing goes back.
That's the closing gap.
So let's not put pressure.
What we should do is
prepare.
Prepare
There is the need to prepare their mind, give them good foundation, and let them be able to make proper decision.
Yes.
Correct. Wow. This has been a fantastic.
Okay, so whatever it is people say when it comes to technology, it's like, even if it is late, there is surrogacy and there is all that. Well, it comes at the cost. You'll pay more.
Yeah.
So, but if you don't mind that, I guess that's an option.
So for delayed marriage, please do not pressure the delayers, the delayed. Pressurers should please to reduce the pressure. Yes.
Subtle pressure through prayers. You can pray for them. You can pray for them. You can, not pressurizing them anyhow. You don't need to pressure them.
We appreciate you, Mrs. Margaret Mapai.
Thank you.
As always, you are you've been a great help to us here. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Dr. Lawrence Olajide Tai.